Hey guys, Joey here from Big Short Gaming, and I was gonna do um, a different kind of video today. I was gonna continue doing the how to win with every Pokemon, but I kind of just don't really feel like it at the moment. Um, so there's been a lot going on in the world the last few days between um, and don't mind my playing the game. I'm gonna just be playing a game in the background. I might not narrate it at all. This is actually a live recording as we speak, so I just wanted to get it off my chest. I'm not gonna be playing the best that I've played. Um, yeah, so between the New York City bombing, amongst the Cascade Mall shooting and other things, I just wanted to go out there and wish my condolences. Um, to the families of the lost, who lost loved ones and who have loved ones that are injured. Um, Now, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about the bigger picture. Um, I posted on Facebook earlier about the untimely death of one of baseball's brightest stars, Jose Fernandez, who passed away in a boating accident. Um, and someone that I'm friends with on Facebook, who I used to work with, um, posted, "Poor baseball player. What about the people murdered in the Cascade Mall by a Muslim terrorist?" Fox Sports. Um, yes, this is the problem that's wrong with the country. Yes, this is the problem that is wrong with people in our country. Everything wants to have a title on it. For example, by a Muslim terrorist. Let's go into the fact to say, yes, it was a Muslim terrorist, correct information. But it could have been a terrorist of any race, any religion, any culture, anything, and it would have still been a terrorist. That little last tidbit of information, a Muslim terrorist does not need to be there. Does not to be need to be a highlighted, you know, um, piece of information. It doesn't need to be something that we fixate on, yet we do countless times. Just like um, the bombing that happened in Chelsea, New York City. Obviously, that hits me close to home because I was born and raised in New York City. My uncle actually played hockey in Chelsea Piers. He was playing hockey when he passed away in Chelsea Piers at the age of 31 from a heart attack. So that area I'm very well versed in, and that is an area that is very near and dear to me. Um, and to hear people like New York City's mayor De Blasio saying, "Well, this was not an act of terrorism because it's not linked to any known terrorist organizations. It's just a misguided Muslim who is, you know, planting these bombs." That is still terrorism. And um, it's still terrorism. It's still a big fucking deal, regardless. And now they're calling this the new normal, which I think is the most accurate um, definition, and it's sickening. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm not here to talk about the terrorist attacks. I'm not here to talk about. Um, I'm here to talk about the bigger picture, and that is the fact that the biggest details of the Jose Fernandez death are being overlooked. It's not about a sports player. It's not about a young kid who played baseball. It's about the fact that this country is such a great country that Jose Fernandez tried to deflect from Cuba here 3 times prior to his successful attempt in 2009 when he deflected um, to the United States in order to bring a better life for his family. to try and make a living in a country of opportunity, to try to make a living, to bring over and emigrate the rest of his family, to bring over and emigrate his loved ones and the ones that he holds near and dear to his heart. And he knew that he had a skill. He knew that he had, this ability to make that happen. He just needed to get here. And he did get here. And he made it happen. And at the end of the day, that's something that is overlooked. That's something that doesn't get credit. And that's the biggest picture here. We lost today someone who wanted the opportunity to live out the American dream, to come to this country. You got to remember, the American dream was the land of opportunity to make yourself a living, to be able to retire, to be able to live free of oppression, to be able to live without, that governing hand that's forcing you and dictating you to live a certain way. That's what this country represents. And Jose Fernandez was in the midst of living out that dream. He was one of baseball's most highly touted young superstars, Rookie of the Year, the best pitcher on the Miami Marlins, one of the best in the game. And he was earning money to give his family, a life. And he did it for his mother, he did it for his family, he did it for the rest of his loved ones, to help bring them here to make use of how great this country is. And that's something that, happens every day, but it's something that happens less now because of this new normal, because of this standard and pedigree that we have set, that this world that we live in is one that is only reflective on the small details of things, such as a Muslim terrorist. There's terrorism every single day. There's terrorism on whites. There's terrorism on blacks. There's terrorism on Spanish, Asians, whatever the fuck they are. There is terrorism on them. And that's something that is never looked at. We live in a world where the media is so strong, and our connection to the media is so strong, that we have to put logos and labels on every fucking thing. For what? What is the reason that we're putting these logos and labels on anything? It's because it's the news agenda, the media's agenda, to create a story for us to get involved in. It's so the media has something for us to, relinquish our regular lifestyle to focus around. And that's bullshit, really, if you think about it. That's the biggest, crock shit that we live in this day and age, where we can't turn on the news without seeing some portrayed violence, some dictated violence that turns, blacks on whites, turns whites on blacks. Like, what about all the things that we do as a community for one another? What about all the things that we do for each other as one another? I've always said it. We live in a world where we could get along if we just turn off the media. There's so much, helping hands and so much, I don't even have the words for it right now. I'm just so, befuddled by the whole fucking concept of missing the point of how much of an impact that this young man had. And the fact that it's become something that's well, it's just a baseball player. No, it's not just a baseball player. It's not just a terrorist attack. Yes, that fucking outweighs the baseball player by a million, but it's the new normal versus what this kid stood for. Are we going to sit there and, lose ourselves in this quote unquote new normal and hold ourselves to this regard of this is our lifestyle? This is the only life we're going to know for eternity. Or are we going to sit there and fucking try to achieve what this kid has achieved? Are we going to try and fucking build up our lives and, see what this kid represented and live for something like that? Because that's what we should be focusing on. As a country, that's what we should be focusing on. We should be sitting there and coming together as one, saying, well, we live in this period where shootings are common, terrorism is common, hate is common. For what? The only reason that these things are fucking common is because that's what we want it to be common. That's because the news wants it to be common. The government wants it to be common. And I'm not one to ever get into politics. And I've purposely strayed away from talking about anything political on this channel. We talked about a little bit during the Smash Bros. Gauntlet because we played for fucking 10 hours straight. And we were running out of things to talk about. But, sometimes it's these things that just can't be avoided. These conversations that cannot be avoided. And we have to stop. We have to let fucking go of the media created, hatred for one another. I can honestly wake up in the morning and say, I don't hate anybody. And that's because I don't let the media fixate my, personal agenda. I don't let the media, make me fixate on one certain idea. Oh, because I'm a white male, I'm privileged. That's how I'm supposed to feel, apparently. And because I'm a white male, everyone automatically thinks I'm privileged. Well, everybody who knows me and everybody who knows my brother and my family, white males. There's 3 white males just in my family, between my household and my parents' household. 50% of the people who live in my apartment are white males. 100% of the people who live in my apartment are white. And guess what? We're not privileged. We're not sitting there well, we're better than everybody because we're white. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm better than anybody because I'm a white male. But to see someone who is not a white male, Jose Fernandez, come to this country, achieve the American dream, that's what we should be focusing on. That should be something that we take with stride, and that's something that we should be wow, you can do it. You can make it happen if you want to. And, it's the fact that, I don't know if you know this, but stories coming out saying that in the boat accident, they were traveling too fast and someone fell overboard. 3 males jumped into the ocean to try and save whoever jumped in. Whoever fell over, causing the boat to crash into a jetty and topple over 2 of the men. There was 1 man also found dead floating in water. But, what we didn't know at the time was they didn't identify who fell in the ocean, but Jose Fernandez actually jumped into the water first to save the person, and later they found out and they identified the person was actually his mother. And that's the type of fucking thing. It's we live in this world where some people are just so, for everybody else. They're so selfless and they're so caring and just want the best for everyone around them, they want just, this kid's really obsessed with getting stealth rocks out. They don't care about themselves, they put themselves last, and that's just so they can make sure that everybody else around them is having the best opportunity. And that's the standard. That should be what we all aim to achieve. A level of selflessness, a level of fucking, you know, I don't have the words. I just don't. I'm just. It's so frustrating to me that like I could say something and it's countered with, "What about the people in Cascade Mall?" Yes, what about them? I understand what happened. I understand, the severity of it. I understand that 4 women and 1 male, I think the count was, were, killed in this. But, we cannot sit there and lose ourselves in this. We cannot sit there and lose ourselves in the hate, the crime, the terrorism, the race wars. It's 2016. We need to move on. We need to find something else. We need to sit there and realize there are people out there who are willing to give it all to do what's best for their friends, their family. And if there's people out there like that, why can't we all be out there like that? Why can't we all just fucking take that as a level of, the question to ask why? And I know I'm stuttering over words and stumbling over words. It's because I'm just so sick of it. I'm sick of the fucking everyday hate. I'm sick of the everyday bullshit. I'm sick of the everyday turning on and seeing shootings on TV. I'm sick of seeing fucking riots. Whatever happened to the peaceful, campaigns? Whatever happened to peaceful protest? Everything now has to be hate-filled, and everything now has to be something that's like the situation in Charlotte, for example. And I know I'll probably get flack for all this, but think about what happened in Charlotte for real. A black man was shot by what? Don't quote me on this, and don't give me shit on this. A black man was shot by what I believe was a black officer. Then it was probably, I'm probably getting this information wrong, which means I probably shouldn't talk about it because it's just going to come off as ignorant. But then people in Charlotte went on to riot, and people went on to focus their energy on rioting, thugging, breaking shit, breaking into shit, and why? All you're doing is taking away from the community that you're trying to stand up for. Charlotte, North Carolina is a predominantly, minority region of the world. And, all you do is hurting yourself, your fellow companions, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, your family. You're not proving a point. You're just showing the rest of the world that, you're just full of hate. And it doesn't have to be that way. There are people out there who genuinely have the biggest heart and soul, who genuinely want the best for everybody around them. And we could all do that. We can all tap into this, this example of like what what America could be, what the world could be, what human species could be. Because hate only breeds more hate, and focusing on the hate only furthers that hate and only makes it worse. But we could all change. It's never too late. It's never too late to sit there and make a difference and really focus on being selfless and really focus on, just caring for one another. Whites caring for blacks, and I know that happens all the time. Blacks caring for whites, and I know that happens all the time. There's areas of this world that aren't ever put on TV, and the reason why is because they're in a realm of complete and total, harmonization, and that could be anybody, and it should be anybody. So, just to sum it up, this is never a rant about, racism or race wars. This is a rant about we lost a golden star today in Jose Fernandez, and it's not about a baseball star. It's not about a kid who plays baseball. It's about the fact that he came here with a goal. He came here to bring his family over, to live the American dream, and achieved it. And that's what we should all strive for. We should all, strive for doing our best as a human being to make this a better world for not just yourself, but for your family, your loved ones, your friends, your neighbors, your brothers, everybody around you. Because if you help a friend, they'll help their friends, and that helps everybody in the long run. Everybody can help everybody in this world, and it's just a matter of just giving it the time and the heart. We don't have to hate. We don't have to be ignorant. We will forever. That's just going to be something that happens. But if we're not sitting there listening to the fucking facade that media has put over the human race, that we're hateful, we're criminal, we're ignorant, we're spoiled, we're entitled, we're better than the next person. If we don't listen to this, we won't believe it. And if we don't believe it, we'll find out that everyone is equal. Everyone is made of the same blood, the same tears, the same organisms, the same chemical compounds. We're all equal. Whether we have fucking Down syndrome, we have some sort of, problem, we're all equal. Whether we're white, black, blue, Asian, we're all the same. We're all the same chemical makeup, and we could all achieve the same things. We just have to have some heart. Just gotta have some love, some compassion, and we just have to have a goal. And Jose Fernandez was representation of that goal. Jose Fernandez was a representation of what it means to be, a true human being, a true American citizen, a true, Earth citizen. And we could all do that. So let's do it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Joe from Big Shark Gaming. Rest in peace, Jose Fernandez, and our condolences go out to the members of everybody who was lost in the terrorism over the last 2 weeks, as well as Jose Fernandez's family. And I'll see you guys next time.